So my road to diagnosis is probably very different than other people's road to diagnosis, because most people know that when you have sickle cell, you're diagnosed at birth, if you're lucky. I was not diagnosed at birth. I was diagnosed in my teen years. And from before my teen years, going up into my teen years, you know, my family, my grandmother and my mom knew something was not right, but they didn't know what it was. They didn't know what questions to ask. You know, my grandmother came from a generation where you did not question the doctors if the doctor said this was this, and you know, so she didn't know like how to work with the doctor to get the answer she needed. So it was like, okay, this is what it is. This is what it must be. The doctor said it. But at 16, I started looking into things myself, and I ended up going to the doctor. They did some blood work. They, you know, kind of, and then they said, you know, this is what it is. That you have sickle cell. And I was like, okay. I was afraid at first, but to give something that you've been dealing with most of your life a name, it felt a little bit, I felt a little confident knowing, like, okay, now this is what I have. Okay, now the challenge was, what do I have to do now?
I got involved with the sickle cell community because it's a inherited blood disorder that not enough people know about, and it does not get enough support and funding and promotion. And I had the blessing of working with community-based organizations all over the country on their sickle cell disease programs. And it gave me a more in-depth understanding of what individuals who are living with sickle cell disease are dealing with. And that's why I got even more deeply involved with it. It's an inherited blood disorder that affects the red blood cells, and oxygen does not get to the internal organs in the way, in an efficient manner. It can cause end organ damage, and so it blocks up, gets hard and sticky in the bloodstream, and that can cause excruciating pain at times, different crises. So individuals who are living with sickle cell disease are dealing with a lot, and they exhibit a lot of courage.
Living with sickle cell for me is, it's hard at times because it often tries to stop me from what I want to accomplish in life. And I come across, as a CHW, a lot of people that say the same thing that I say, like the disease stops them from being able to reach their goals as they would like to.
I am so inspired by individuals who are living with sickle cell disease, and that's how I first got involved in the whole sickle cell arena. I was working as a consultant on a national campaign for sickle cell disease, and I came into contact with community-based organizations in the major cities throughout the country, and they were doing and are doing incredible work. The Sickle Cell Disease Association of America, they have a conference every year, and there are member chapters all over the country. So through that project, I became more familiar with how sickle cell disease affects individuals, how little funding and support and awareness there is, especially in comparison to other disease states. And this is a condition that affects primarily people of color, although it affects all ethnic groups. So that's how I got involved. Was once I finished working on that particular campaign, I still wanted to be involved in sickle cell disease because I had been touched, inspired by the courage of individuals who are living with this.
In raising awareness, we get to educate people, and they become more able to make better decisions when they're starting family planning. And so that's really big for me. Like, that's the big reason why I like to raise awareness and tell people, and to help them understand that, you know, what a person with sickle cell is feeling and what they're going through.